They call cars like this flagships for a reason. They represent just about everything a car maker knows how to do. And in this case, that's a lot. Let's jump in Audi's 2011 A8, block out a few hours, and check the tech. The 2011 A8 is the third complete redesign of the big Audi. And big is the first thought that comes to mind, especially with that big chrome cowcatcher up front. But work your way around the car, and to my eye, this is the tidiest A8 by about a mile. Now, the 2011 A8 going forward has the potential to reset the bar on what a high-tech car is. Unfortunately, they shipped us one that is kind of devoid of some features, but we'll use the magic romper room mirror to pretend to see them. However, a lot of stuff is standard, including this crowd pleaser, the pop-up screen that goes along with those pop-up acoustic lenses from Bang & Olufsen up there on the dash. This is Audi's new MMI look, this sort of Rings of Saturn deal where you rotate around the different functions in many cases. Let's start with navigation. Great looking map and screen, great representation of traffic, of your route, where you are. You can do 3D, you can do 2D. The detail here is tremendous on this system because they have such great rendering of cities and such. Audi's always been way out in front on that. Now, once you stop oohing and eyeing over the topography and the 3D buildings and all the great rendering of traffic, let's look at some of the functionality. It's very interesting here. If I want to enter an address, things are pretty routine. I can use this little wheel and I can click and turn, and that's all pretty obvious. But let's say I don't want to type it in with the click wheel. I want to write it in. I can do that right here on this pad, and it'll tell me what it thinks I wrote. Now, is that less distracting than any other interface while you're driving? I don't think so, but it sure is clever. Our radio sources are AM, FM, HD radio, Sirius satellite radio. On the media front, we've got a jukebox. You can rip music to the hard drive, not video though. Here's my SD card selection. I have one in one of the two slots there. DVD, CD, all that playback through our single slot here. Then we get down to the AMI. Here's where I get a real gripe with this car. It's not plugged in yet, but when you want to use it, you plug it down into that port right there. You have one port, and you go buy different pigtails from Audi that go to whatever you want. Problem is, and the problem with this kind of an architecture is, you've got a proprietary Audi cable. I bet it's not cheap to replace, but for example, if I try and plug it into this iPhone 4 with the Apple official bumper around it, guess what? It doesn't work. Now here on the tone panel, we get into a very controversial area in my mind, the Bang & Olufsen sound system. That's an option on this car, even on this car, because it costs, if I'm not mistaken, $6,000. That's a hell of a lot of money for an audio upgrade, and I'm not hearing it. Yeah, it sounds great, but so do a variety of other systems out there that are premium sound for $1,000 to $2,000 max. Now, Audi's got something called the Audi parking system, which isn't really a parking system, it's a rear view camera, which is nice, but it doesn't park the car. I think in this day and age, you better park the car if you're going to call it a parking system, because you're going to look silly otherwise. What we have, though, is a nice array of sensors front and rear with very good intelligence about what they're seeing and how far away it is. You can switch between those and the rear view camera, and you can switch the camera between two different modes, whether you're coming in parallel or coming in side by side on the car and you're backing out. In this car, GPS doesn't just make the nav work, it also gets called in to adjust the headlights for curves ahead, adjust the drivetrain behavior for a grade ahead, and even help the cruise control work because it knows what the lanes are like ahead. Speaking of magic out of thin air, this car offers factory access to the cloud. A built-in 3G radio and Wi-Fi hotspot will be on the option sheet, which has never been offered from a factory on a car sold in the US until now. Now, after all those blockbusters, the available dual 10-inch rear seat entertainment system seems almost pedestrian. Okay, to the engine bay now. By today's standards, this is actually fairly garden variety stuff. A 4.2-liter dual overhead cam, direct injection. How on earth do they make it that smooth? V8. 372 horsepower, 328 foot-pounds of torque. 0 to 60 happens in 5.7 seconds. This car weighs 4,400 or so pounds. The fuel economy is actually quite good. 17 city, but 27 highway. Again, for a big car, moving at a good clip. That characteristic clicking you hear there doesn't get into the engine bay. That is the direct injection injectors doing their thing. This big boy drives exactly the way I want it to. Smooth, taut and forceful, not crazy with sporting pretensions, silent and smooth like a tomb. Only Audi can nail that just right, with ample power, good instincts, but literally no noise, vibration, or harshness in this or any of their cars. I mean, they own that whole silky smooth dialed-in thing. This car is super comfortable. I don't know if I mentioned 22-way adjustable seats. In the 3 days I had this car, I don't think I found more than 12 ways to adjust them, so there's ample stuff to play with, including multiple massage modes. If I had to choose between an LS from Lexus, 7 Series, an S-Class, or an A8, I would go with the A8. It's the right balance of luxury, sport, understated looks and elegance, good cabin technology, and the price is about where everybody is in this class.
Now, the new A8 does not arrive in showrooms until November of 2010, so pricing is not set as of our shoot today.
Now, if you want to go full CNET style, here are the tech toys. You can go for that B&O sound system if you want to be a sucker. $6,000 is likely to be the price, and I just don't get it. There's a solar sunroof option that will run blowers and ventilation to keep the car cool when it's parked. Rear seat entertainment is another a la carte option. Beyond that, this guy comes pretty much equipped as we've shown it. A lot of tech here, and you can add a lot more.
What's up, Brian Tong here, and if you want the scoop for all the good and bad inside the Apple world, then the only thing you should be watching is CNET's Apple Bite. I'll give you the latest news, rumors, tips, apps of the week, and even call out the bad apples. So watch it all at cnet.com/AppleBite, and I'll see you there.